G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 27 of my Drain Essence Apostate playthrough with Manfred here. Now, in between episodes, I went ahead and crafted myself a new gun in the hopes of getting some higher conversion percentage, and I got it. I got 49. It definitely goes higher, but 49 plus 52 means I have 100% conversion, and I no longer need the Galacrus Dread plating. So if I find something juicy for my chest, I can swap this out. It took me, I think, maybe another 2 or 3 runs. I can't remember. I did it last night, but another 2 or 3 runs to get the Kilrian Soul. So it's a little expensive to be crafting this one. Scarab Shell Powder, I have one of those, so let's keep the add-on here. Chuck that on there, and I guess we'll do that outside of that. There we go. Other things that dropped, I did drop the Mythical Leg Plates of Valor, which I would like to use, because +2 to Word of Renewal is useful. 2 good resistances, some physical resist, and a pile of health, plus really good armor. Unfortunately, I'm nowhere near the requirements on physique, and I don't think I'm going to be getting there. So I think I'll probably have to keep the Death Whisper leggings at least for a while. And just to prove my point again, look what else dropped. This set is literally everywhere. If I find the chest guard, I may swap this in. I would lose some damage on the Inquisitor Seal being mostly, well, it is entirely fire damage, but with these shoulders, I'm converting a good chunk of that to Aether. So I would lose some damage on that, and a little bit on Word of Pain, but 27 fire damage converted, a third, who cares? So if I find the Perdition chest, I may swap them over. Actually, what resistances do I need on that? Vitality, what does this have? Chaos and Aether. Okay, so maybe not, but we'll see what drops. And I did find the Aether Storm Sigil here as well. Now, this is a Druid set, realistically, but 109% Aether damage on one item is nothing to sneeze at. And it has 2 resistances, Spirit and Offensive Ability. And if you get 2 pieces, 6% increase OA. So I'm going to hang on to that as well. I'm not expecting to use this, even if I do get both or another piece. But maybe. Okay, so last episode we made it up to the Vanguard of the 3. And this episode I think I'm going to kill Korvaak. Now, I went around and picked up all the quests. And let's just actually jump straight into it. And by jump straight into it, I mean jump straight up to Malmuth and buy an XP potion. Now, I am under a little bit of a time constraint, but I think I can get through all of the rest of this act before I run out of time. We'll just have to wait and see how we go. So, first stop is going to be... we are doing the... Yeah, we're doing Bismail quest. Okay. So, Bismail quests are really, really easy. They're also really, really early. I'm going to check for the Exalted Stash. It's not here. And it's not going to be in here either. But... Level 95, okay. Another +1 skill point. Kind of halfway surprised that wasn't the Perdition chest there. Alright, Iskandra's Text. I'm almost certainly 100% guaranteed not using that. But if you want to look at the stats on it, you can go back and pause. So this is the Soleil quest. We're not doing Soleil, so I don't care about that. There will be no portal up there for me to go into. What I am looking for down here is, again, the Exalted Stash. Because I like loot, basically. What do we got on this one? Good resistances. Now, the Ascended Hood that I'm wearing, yeah, it's kind of nice to have +3 to Inquisitor Seal. And there kind of isn't a but there, actually. I think I want the Inquisitor Seal stuff. Ludrigan's jacket there for the Ludrigan set is, I think that was one of the ones I put up as a potential to get played instead of this. Yeah, Storm Totem, Ludrigans. I think I was going to do Druid. It's definitely my turn to pick the next build though, so there will be no poll this time. And I think it's going to be something ranged, but we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, this is the Bismail quest, and this is also the best place to farm your Witch God Cult reputation. The best place in the game. There is nowhere in the game that is better than this, in my opinion. There's obviously going to be places where people prefer to do it, but in terms of efficiency and reputation per minute, this is it. You get the totem here, potentially. You'll usually get a few heroes in this section here. And then when we go downstairs, you'll see the reason why. So here you can see Old Mate Risen Stone. You've got In Ashcore down here. And we've also got another Risen Stone. So there is 3 bosses. See the skull next to his name there? He's going to give me 112, I think, reputation with all 3. And then In Ashcore is going to be the same. So between the 3 of these, you get 336, plus you get whatever was in the above level, plus potentially a totem. Don't eat the meteors, or the roof falling down, whatever that is. That will kill you. Anchorat's leg armor, I think I'm starting a collection. In fact, you know what? Let's chuck it in the pile. There we go. So 336 reputation, I don't need that. And it's very close to a rift gate, so you can just rift over here, which we'll get in a second, and come on in. You get several heroes on the top floor. You get a whole bunch of trash if you clear the top floor. But honestly, I would just beeline for those 3 heroes that we just killed. They are relatively easy to kill, pretty quick to get to, and they give you a pile of reputation. So, in my opinion, the best place, not my favorite, but the best place to farm Witch Cult reputation, and also Eldritch Horrors, I think it is, negative reputation as well. Now, I am probably going to skip a lot of trash on this little run through, because I do want to get to the quest targets a little quicker. Let's see, no, I was kind of hoping I could go around this section. All these guys, yeah, I could kill them, I guess, but I'm not going to. Could also go in here for exalted, or sorry, treasure troves, but again, I'm not going to. I do want to kill all of the heroes because of reputation, but I'm kind of okay with leaving a lot of trash behind at this point. Once you get to level 94, leveling up is actually not worth very much. You can definitely do it, but the difference between 95 and 100 is 4 skill points. And I've already kind of ran out of places where I actually want to put that. In fact, where am I going to put these? I think just straight in the bar here for more stats. Alrighty, so I've got the quest for... We could go back to Bicilla. I will have to at some point before we can go ahead and fight Korvaak. But I've also got to... Okay, I didn't talk to the peoples at the Vanguard, or the Conclave of the 3 about Anorak. The next one is going to be the Preemptive Strike quest, which is going to be just up the hill and across the bridge, and then around the corner. Alright, we've got a double rare, and this is trash. I forget I have a gun. I hate the guns. This is expensive vendor trash. 3 resistances. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is not completely unusable. I'm not saying it's not a decent rare. If I didn't have these, I'd maybe consider it. 3 resistances, offensive ability, percentage health, and armor. Even just ignoring the pet stuff and the proc that does very little for me. It's not horrible, but it's not something you want to hang on to. The number of triple rare, monster infrequent items on Reddit and on the forums that I see, where people get super excited only to be told afterwards that, you know, actually this is rubbish because you have a fire prefix on a pet monster infrequent with Aether damage as the secondary, or as the suffix. It's a lot. Like, if I had $1 for every time, it'd be at least 2 today. Okay, Exalted Stash. Give me something nice. Blood Sigil of Chthon. Definitely not what I was after. Actually, do I have a build that uses that? Chaos Fire Strike, is it? Yeah, Chaos Fire Strike. No, I don't. Alright, they can just follow me. You can actually have a totem in here, which would be nice. And Old Mate here with his Lightning Spear. I made a video a while back on how to farm these, and occasionally I'll get comments from people saying either, thanks, I found it after, 3 runs or whatever, or I'll get someone saying, you know, I've done this place 12 times and haven't seen one yet. What's going on? So I'm aware that there are definitely some people who maybe have had some bad luck with the lightning totems. All right, let's shoot this one. All the pillars are down. Now, I'm not expecting this to be particularly difficult. Let's see if I can dodge the Sunder. If he even does it. Oh, thought I saw him with the Sunder animation. I think I probably didn't. All right, we've got the Rotgeist mask here. Being a level 94 set helmet, you can craft this 4 times and then just transmute the entire set. So these kinds of blueprints for set helmets are really, really nice. Because that is basically, if you have the crafting material, I have the full set. I just have to go and get it. Not going to be something that I use on this character. But it's kind of cool to find it anyway. Alright, so that's one of the main quests, or the main side quests, I guess, complete. This section here can be a little rippy, actually. These rage flames can quite quickly add up their damage. I'm not sure if they are particularly good XP, I just like killing them. Get revenge for all of the pet Kabbalists that have not died, but had a bad time there. Alright, we made it to the city. Dayla's not there. That's interesting. Thought I did Dayla's quest. She should be there. Maybe I missed something. Alright, let's get through this. We do have to go and kill the messenger, which is not going to be particularly hard. You just have to dodge the Sunder and not stand in lava. Which, could be hard to not stand in lava sometimes, especially when you're trying to dodge things. Would be nice if I could stop evading into walls as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to fight this. It's unfortunate that they knocked the door down, let their friends in. This little section here, you can have, I was going to say you can have a lot of hero griffins, and here is one. He died very, very quickly. I'm surprised. Alright. Let's go up the hill here. Take care of the messenger. Like I mentioned, you want to make sure you're not standing in lava. And when he leans forward to flap his wings is the Sunder tell. So just evade and you should be fine. What do I get? I get cooldown reduction, which, whatever. He gets physical damage and poison damage. Okay. That's fine. I can deal with that. Alright, so he's going to start out as this little what are we calling that? This little red wraith thing. Alright, the meteors don't hurt too bad. That's good. Let's keep the Inquisitor seals moving. Cycle through them. Now, when I killed him last time, I think was on the Deceiver that I'm playing at the same time. Yeah, he didn't try and sunder me, and it's also the same this time. I'm starting to second guess myself now, if he even has a sunder. I want to check this. Okay, monster database. What do we call him? The messenger? Yeah, Okoloth, that's right. In Ultimate, second phase, does he sunder? I don't see a sunder. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe he doesn't actually sunder. 420 reduced target's defensive ability. Okay, so yeah, he definitely crits. I think his crit damage bonus is only 10% though. Let's just have a quick look here. Critical, where is that? It's tab 3, right? Tab 2? Tab 2, critical damage, 14%. Okay, so it's not too bad. 14% crit chance, and he definitely had a at least somewhat good chance to crit me. That's fine, we didn't die. Alright, I'm going to check for the treasure trove here as well, so let's kill all of this lot off. And just poke my head over here, there it is. Every time I check for this treasure trove, it seems like it's never here, so it's good to see it. Ugdenborg leather, amazing component. Tempted to swap out the salve for it, so you get bleeding resist instead of a negligible amount of armor, and you also get some defensive ability, which I'm a little low on. I'm also probably not going to swap that out. I don't need the bleeding resist, and 30 DA is not really worth talking about. Alright, what do we got here? Saprazor. Saprazor is dead. It's unfortunate for Saprazor. Alright, excuse me, just having a little bit of a choking fit there. I had a Lamington a little earlier. I'm still coughing up tiny bits of coconut. Delicious, delicious, absolutely, but the tickle in the throat is not welcome. Also, is Lamingtons a thing in the rest of the world? I know the Aussies and the New Zealanders argue over who invented it, but do they actually have that in other countries? I'm never sure which kind of snacks get exported. Be interesting to know. Anyway, bit of an aside there. We're coming up on, what's his face? What is his face? Dravis. Dravis is here, or he will be once I go back to town. I didn't eat my conversation pie, so it's going to be waiting for me at breakfast. Let's go ahead and turn these in. Another victory for us. Spear of the Heavens leveling up. I love. Ismail reputation. The messenger is dead. Yes, I'm sure. And thank you for the attribute point. We're at 50, 22. Let's just get spirit. I'm going to end up respecing those points at some point anyway. So that'll be fine. Sigil of the Three. I've got to go get that book back too. That's fine. Alright. Don't clear the rift. Do not clear the rift gate. Oh, also, if you're feeling adventurous, you can stand in here. Only works on ultimate, but you can stand in here. I don't think the Inquisitor Seal does anything. I know this does, though. Aether Cluster definitely works. So let's wait until... Where's the Aether Cluster? As soon as this wears off, I'm going to neck a potion. And then once that wears off, I'm going to be looking at this. There we go, Chill Heart. So Chill Heart, you get 1 per character. And you're looking at Cold Ring of Steel, basically. Having said that, I don't see Pierce to Cold. But Lightning and Fire to Cold means you can dual wield this. And assuming you get good rolls, and you've had 2 characters at least with good rolls, you can do full Elemental to Cold conversion with 2 of these. I think the only thing I've used this for is Trickster build, where I converted Primal Strike to Cold, and then dual wielded this with the Stormheart to let you dual wield it. It's a fun build. Let's go turn the other one in. I'm probably going to accidentally clear that Rift Gate, but fingers crossed, I remember not to. So I've got the book for transmuting. This is another gimme. What you do sounds like a good idea. You come over here, you buy one of these. Hey, look at that. Got a merit, 10,000 XP, and give me my bits back. Bank it if you want to make alts. It's a good way to speed it up a bit. But more stats and more spirit, I think I was doing. Yeah, why not spirit? Yeah, just a free, 20,000 XP. Okay, and Anorak will give you your little bit of conversation pie just to get it out of my quest log. So all we have left, basically at this point, we have 2 hurdles to get through. First one is Father Kymon, who hits like a truck strapped to the front of a train and riding a rocket. That guy is incredibly dangerous. And well, I guess 3, because we have to kill Travis as well. But the third one, I guess, would be Korvaak himself. And I'm feeling relatively confident-ish. So we'll see how we go. All right, Travis, time for you to die, buddy. Now, he should have time to get his friend out. I'm standing in a volcano. Yeah, he's definitely going to get his friends out. The volcano sunders, so you don't want to get hit with it. He died really easily. I am actually surprised by how big this number is. I'm very grateful that it's that big, but surprised. Okay, skill point. More attributes. Do I want any of this? Not really. I mean, 1 point here I'll probably get because 1 is worth 3, and the extra crit damage and all damage percentage is nice to have. But the rest of this, Horn of Gandar, I could probably swap the Ill Omen and get Horn of Gandar instead, but it's really much of a muchness. We do also have, don't forget to pick up the locket here too, or the Mother's Pendant. We also have Old Mate here. This is a boss where you are definitely going to want to kite. That attack. His regular melee attacks hurt a fair bit too. Depending on what weapon he has, I guess. Searing of the Abomination, I'm not too worried about. So we've got 43% fire converted to physical, and we've got 37% physical converted to fire. And because of the way conversion works in this game, probably you're not going to be doing a whole lot of converting. Basically, they take place at the same time. So if you have 100 fire damage and 100 physical damage, you don't do an endless conversion loop. You convert 37 physical to fire, and also 43 fire to physical at the same time. And that's it. It does it once, and then it stops. Right, let's get into it. Tomb of the Eldritch Sun. So we are here to see my good friend, Father Kymon. And by good friend, I mean sworn enemy, and I'm going to murder him to death. Also, the Kymon's idiots are just kind of stupid. Accidentally destroy the world. I'm sure all the dead people will be relieved to know that it was an accident. Alright. Brother Sigarius over here, I am not super worried about because of where he spawned over there. He can't really get to me, but he is a little rippy, so if you do have to fight him, unlike me, definitely be careful. There's also a lot of elemental in here, so if you don't have good elemental resistances specifically in this area, then expect to take hideous amounts of damage. Is that a hero? That is a hero. I have to go back. Or I could wait here and he'll come to me. That also works. Dawnguard helmet. There we go. That's another complete set, if I wanted it. Obviously I don't. I'm kind of hoping I find the blueprint for the Ouroboros set. It does exist. You can find it as a drop. And I would like to find it as a drop. Okay. I see you there, Mr. Arcane. Storm Herald's Visage. Okay, I'll have a look at that afterwards because I think that might be the lightning... is that the lightning force wave helmet? Let's have a look. It is absolutely not. Alright, let's ignore that totem for now. Like I said, I kind of want to push through here today. And it's another cool looking model. Vampiric. Didn't really seem to help him. I think this Necromancer might be just a little bit better at being a vampire than he is, though, so... I mean, it's fair, it's fair. Oh, also, my earlier comment about lamingtons. If you're not sure what they are, think basically a sponge cake. Cover the whole thing in chocolate and then dip it in dip it in coconut. Desecrated coconut, specifically. And yes, I said that wrong on purpose because it's funny. Don't really see them super often anymore. They are available in supermarkets. I just haven't had one for a long time. I saw them in the supermarkets a couple of days ago and I just thought, I have to have one. So I did, and it was delicious. And I have another one in the fridge, and I'm going to eat it later. Okay, enough about lamingtons. Father Kymon. So he should want to talk to me. Yeah, he's going to want to talk to me. First time you fight him, he should want to talk. And you want to get in his face, right up in his face, and you want to stay there for the entire fight. If you have to evade, evade through him and immediately step forward. Because if you're over here and he's over here, he's going to leap slam on your face, do a stupid amount of damage, and then hit you again and you probably die. So definitely stay in melee range. Keep Ill Omen active if you can. Maybe don't stand in the fire is usually good advice. That was one hit. And it hurt. Alright, let's pick this up. So Kymon's down. Yeah, definitely hits quite hard. Alright, we are on the home stretch. Things you are going to need for Korvaak. Every resistance except, I think, Chaos, maybe Aether, but every resistance basically must be at or above the cap. Decent defensive ability. 1% chance for Father Kymon to crit me. I kind of don't care. But if you've got 5, 10, 15% chance to be crit, you probably do need some more defensive ability. Offensive, yeah, I can hit him. Armor, this is what I've got. This will honestly likely be enough. The biggest thing I'm a little bit worried about is taking extra fire damage. But I think it'll be fine. Alright, let's go get him. If you've been following along up to this point and you have armor levels that are around about the same or a little bit higher than mine, you're going to be fine. If you're missing any resistances, and I mean literally any, you definitely want to go and talk to my good friend Isaiah Redden. You want to get a resistance potion to plug that gap. And you want to make sure to use it. Why are they doing so much extra damage? Where is my free 130 physical damage? Not that I'm actually going to use it on this build, but still. And then, yeah, again, the trick with Korvaak is you get in his face, you stay in his face, and you just beam him down. Hold right-click until his health bar is gone, basically. There's a few little things we'll have to sort of deal with as they come up. He's going to have one phase where he summons friends. He's going to have a little spiraling fire attack that's kind of circle-shaped and gets closer to him. That's going to reduce your defensive ability. From memory, he doesn't shred resistances, so if you're capped, you should be fine. And I think at this point, you're either ready or you're not. And if you're not, you're probably struggling a fair bit. So if you're struggling more than I am, you're probably not ready. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. I'm a little worried about my energy, actually. Is there anything I can do to fix that? There is, but it would reduce my chaos resistance below max. Or, okay, hear me out. Survivor's Perseverance. That's going to be Devil's Crossing. Okay. What I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to keep the item here. And I'm going to do the same here. Keep the item. Let's go ahead and put that back on there. Get my Rift tab back on. Okay, so my chaos resistance is down. But, what I can do is I can come in here and actually... Oh, am I about to find out something really annoying? No, I'm not. Cool. I don't have the Seal of Annihilation, otherwise I would be wearing it. So that's fine. What I'm going to do is... Perseverance, is it this one? Yes. Goes on my amulet. Alright. Okay, and I needed a black tallow. Chuck that one on there. And I'm going to get another 30% from Word of Renewal. Yeah, 30%. So that'll get me to the cap. Now, like I said, I don't think he does chaos damage, but I'm also 99% sure that he does not shred resistances. So if I'm at the 80% cap, that's good enough for this fight. Which means I can make an Arcane Spark. I hope. Yes, I can make one individual Arcane Spark, which is good enough. And I can chuck that on there. So this is going to give me Energy Leech, which I don't hit things with my weapon, so it doesn't count, but 20% increased energy regeneration and a bit of offensive ability. Hopefully that will help. I don't think I can really do a whole lot else. Aether does energy? No, it doesn't. Yeah, what else have we got in here? Ectoplasms. I'm already using ectoplasms. I am absolutely not taking that diamond off for another ectoplasm, so that's right out. I think that might be it. I also think I'm going to be fine, but just getting that little bit of extra sustain on my energy is probably a good thing. Alright, let's dump this off. I do want to keep that. I haven't got the lightning one yet because I haven't gone to do the Lokar quest yet. Let's go ahead and bank this. And by bank, I mean sell. Already banked things. Actually, no. I'm happy to sell a few scrap so I don't have to bank it. I'm not selling Eldritch Essence so I don't have to bank it. Alright, one last check. All resistances are capped. Armor is probably as good as it's going to get. I probably could do Bloodied Diamonds, or Bloodied Crystal, sorry, on my rings, but it's not going to make a huge difference anyway. Kilrian's Soul on the chest actually wouldn't be bad. But I used it to make another gun, so I'm a little bit upset about that. Let's see what else we can put on the chest here. I've got an empty slot. I'm not using it. Seems silly to me. Living Armor would be okay for the offensive ability more than anything else. Scaled Hide, maybe. Ancient Armor Plate is probably the way to go if I'm going to go for armor. And yeah, it looks like I am just going to chuck an Ancient Armor Plate on it. We'll see what else we can potentially put on there. Chains of Oleron could be a good shout as well. Get some extra offensive ability, a little bit less entrapment duration. Bindings of Bismail for... Why did I think that had total speed on it? It doesn't. I thought it did, but it definitely doesn't. I might actually go Hallowed Ground, just for the extra little bit of defensive ability. Against Korvaak, it's probably not a bad idea. Okay, let's go kill him. Also, wrong guy. What is this one? This is shield stuff? Yeah. Probably should, actually. Do I have the potion with casting speed on it? Let's have a look here. that one. Okay, I'm going to make one of those and drink that. So that's going to give me a little bit of extra Aether damage and 10% casting speed. What is my casting speed, actually? Casting speed, yeah, nowhere near the cap. Good. Alright, let's do it. Time to fight the big bad. The last character I lost was killed by this guy. It was the Archon. Eye of Reckoning Archon. Did in fact die to this guy, so let's see how we go. First phase, I'm going to literally stand in my circle and kill him. Second phase, he'll have friends. But I should be able to largely do the same thing. Alright, he's not going to die especially quickly. The only thing I want to evade is that circle, so I'm going to evade through that. Run back to my circle. Okay, I lied. I also want to evade this. Then get back in the circle. Try to remember to use the this stuff on the floor, these glowing things, that's a visual bug. They don't do anything when they're on the floor. Yeah, so I want to evade the meteors. I want to evade the big circle that shreds my defensive ability. And other than that, I'm kind of okay with all the rest of his stuff. Okay, I'm actually doing a surprising amount of damage because I skipped the ad phase, which does not happen very often. So this is the last phase. This is where I'm going to die, if I'm going to die. 13,000 HP does not inspire confidence. Having said that, I think I've got this in the bag. Definitely was standing in the Inquisitor Seal the whole time. There he goes. Alright, so Celestial Lotus, this is really good. Allows me to transmute set items into other sets. So if I had a level 94 legendary set item, I could roll it for a chance to get the Ouroboros set. Alright, let's have a look at the loot. So this one here has potentially the best item in it. So let's check the... So Korvaak's Essence, you only get this the first time you kill him. So I picked up the Infernal Brimstone, which does that. Which is a nice way of saying it's vendor trash for me. So this one you get every time. Mythical Elementium and a bunch of bits. Okay, again, not too impressed by that. This is the money trove, okay? If you're going to get the money drop, it's going to be in here. I didn't get it. Korvaak has a helmet with a 5% drop chance. I think it's 5%. Which is actually pretty good. Unfortunately, it didn't drop. It is definitely an elemental helmet. It gives you an activatable ability that shoots out the little fire. If you played Diablo 2, it's like the spark spell from the sorceress, sorry. Except they're red, and they go out in all directions. And it shreds elemental resistance, so it's quite a good helmet. Alright, that is the end of the campaign. So successfully defeated the campaign. Now, I'm level 96, so there's obviously going to be a few more episodes. I do want to get to level 100. I'll also go through some good farming routes. So if this is your first character and you've been playing along, I will show you where I like to farm and some good ways to get the set. And at the end, I'll probably do a build guide, although there's a few in the list for the build guides, so that might take a little while. I will come up with a build for this, which I really need to sit down and just do it, but I haven't done it yet. The good news is that most of the gear is going to pretty much do itself, because you've got the Ouroboros set, you've got the weapon is just, it's obvious. It's the Ascended Authority, is it? I forget the name of it. Let's actually check that. Drain Essence. Turn the blue items off, and it is a scepter. It is not a scepter. Where is it? Is it a scepter? I'm over here on Grim Tools. Wrath of the Ascendant, there you go. So, unless I can find something better, it's probably going to be that. It's +1 to all Necro skills, it's got casting speed, health, a bunch of Aether damage, and then on a critical hit, you will 100% do Aether damage, reduce enemy offensive and defensive ability, and then reduce their Aether resistance by 15%. So I'm unlikely, I think, to find something better than that, but I haven't looked yet, so I could be wrong. Alright, I do have the... Where is Corvin City? I do have the Mother's Pendant to give to my good friend Dela, who apparently doesn't show up until you get it. So here we go. Your dad's dead, your brother's dead, everyone you know is dead. Sorry about that. Thanks for the flower. That's basically what this quest boils down to. These things here are really good because of transmuting, but I am going to hang on to them, at least for a while. So anyway, yeah, that is going to be the end of the campaign section. There will be a few more videos, like I said, but this will be the end of this video for now. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.